everyone, welcome back. I'm Angela from artery.co.uk. Do you have any large scraps like this from leftover projects? I have loads of these and I usually turn them into cards, but if you would like to turn them into something you can sell, if you have an embossing machine and embossing folders, you can do just that. My best seller on Etsy, granted I haven't sold that many, are embossed card, different types of embossed cards. So I'm going to show you just quickly how to do it. So for instance, I'll use black so you can see. So for instance, I want to turn this into something I can sell because people do buy embossed card from Etsy. It's a very good seller. So what I would do is first of all get a folder that you want to turn into profit or turn into an embossed card. Then measure it. So that is, well, I'm going to say that's 4 because I want the whole pattern inside to be on the card. So even though it's 4 and 2/16, I'm going to say it's 4, so it'll be in the middle like that. And then this is just over 5 3/4. So I'm going to take that down to 5 1/2. So 5 1/2 by 4. So I'm going to get my little, I'm saying little, I'm not going to use my Sizzix trimmer for this because I've damaged it and it doesn't cut properly. So I said 5 1/2 by 4, didn't I? So we'll cut the paper down 5 1/2 by 4. Make sure you cut it as accurately as you can, because if you're going to sell it to people, you want to sell it to them in the condition that you would expect to receive it yourself. So then what you can do, put that down, then what you can do is make sure that it fits, and this does fit nicely. So then you can emboss that, and I'll show you what that looks like when I'm finished. So let's see what that's turned out like. That's very pretty. I really like that. So what I would do is I would make one each of each colour. So this is really nice. I would make one in white, one in black, one in ivory, because they seem to be really popular colours. And I would take pictures of those. And I would do that for every folder that I have. I would emboss one in those 3 colours, and I would take a picture of them all together, and then I would take a photo of them individually so people can have a better look at what they're getting. So I am going to do a few more and then I'll show you what I mean. So I would do this with every folder that I have, and because all of my folders tend to be different sizes, I would measure each one individually and cut the card to match. And when you're listing it on Etsy, please make sure that you put the sizes for the card that you're going to use. So that is for this folder, but with every folder that you've got, make sure that you take photographs of them, as I said, as a group and individually, so that people know exactly what they're getting. And always put the weight of the paper in your description and put the colour, and make sure that you have enough in stock in your own craft room or wherever you keep it to keep up with any kind of demand. I'm not saying there will be a demand, but just make sure that you have enough. So I tend to list just a few at a time. So for instance, if I know I can make 10 of those, 10 of those and 10 of those, that's how many I will list. I will make sure that I only have 10 listed of each. I won't go over 10, because if you get a lot of orders in one day, you're going to have to fulfill those orders, because Etsy will expect you to post them very quickly. So I have a 2-day turnaround on mine. So if I get an order in, I make it the same day and post it the next day. And because I can't get out myself, Royal Mail has what's called like a click and collect service, which is absolutely fantastic for me. And when you have mobility issues, if you can't get out every day for whatever reason to post them, then this click and collect from Royal Mail it's free. It's completely free. All you do is pay for your postage, package them up, pay for your postage, print off the label. In fact, you don't even have to print off your label, because they can bring it the next day and put it on for you. Great service. I always use them. But that's how I would do it anyway. So I'm not sure why. I think I must have used this folder for something to do with ink on, because it has got a little bit of inky bits over there. But this is actually the 300 GSM, and I am very impressed with that card. But you can use thinner card. Just make sure that your buyers know what they are getting, the weight of the card, how long it's the size of them. Make sure that they know what size they're getting, how long it will take you to post it, whether you're offering free postage and packing or whether they have to pay for it. But just make sure that you package it nicely and send it off as soon as you can. But this is a good way to, I always have large pieces of scrap like this left over from videos or from other projects, and I think it's just a great way to not only use them, but to try and make a little bit of money from them also. You could sell them on Etsy, on Shopify, your own website. I actually prefer to sell on my own website, because you don't have all the extra fees to deal with. But to be honest, wherever sells, wherever your profit is going to be. So I just thought that was just a little bit of advice on what to do with your large pieces of scrap, if you do have any left over. So thank you for staying with me this long. I hope it was helpful. I would really appreciate any of your comments, anything you have to say, any advice or tips you have. This is not a video on Etsy and how to sell on Etsy. It's just one of the platforms that you can use to sell things that you make, that's all. But anyway, thank you so much once again for staying with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye bye now.